Martin coming through in the Orca 03 Nissan. Lights ablaze. It tells you just how dark it is starting to get here. Heading towards the evening, but also we've had quite a lot of cloud, as we've heard typhoons in not exactly the locale, but gracing, if you can put it that way, this part of the world. I understand over 100 people have died in the typhoon that swept over the Philippines. So it's a serious business in this part of the world.
Yeah, it's heading for Vietnam now, they're
yes.
saying, but so won't be touching this part of the coast of southern China. But there we are. Just have a quick look at this replay of John Martin just going wider and wider. Oh, he's got problems at the back, hasn't he? What's all that?
Bodywork damage.
Been bitten,
in fact, yeah, he has been bitten. And it's not just pickup, that a sheared rear piece of bodywork, as you can see.
Why is this car back in? We just saw it going out again with Bjorn Verdheim, so obviously a problem at that last pit stop. Here's the two Astons running together, first and second. So important, as we can't stress enough, here in China, their biggest market, and if they can pull off this 1-2 today, that will do no end of good for car sales.
Yeah, exactly. It might just pick it up after Ford nicked their grille for the Focus. That's for another story. I was upset about that, I must admit. Nice if you've got a Ford Focus, but not great if you're driving an Aston Martin. There you go.
And how do you like the new Vanquish? The new Aston Martin Vanquish.
Does it look like a Ford Fiesta?
Convertible, which doesn't look like a Ford Fiesta, but the price tag, £199,000.
That's a lot of Ford Fiestas.
Oh, something's got to pay for the racing.
Yeah, it has. Beautiful looking cars, and yes, let's not have any more encroachment onto that rather distinctive shape, shall we?
Yeah, so Stefan Mucker being shadowed by Bruno Senna. Just again, we can't stress what a good job Senna's done for Aston Martin this year. They swapped him between 2 or 3 cars, Pro-Am and
Welcome back. No more breaks before the end, and no break as well in this pairing. They could almost be towing each other, it seems. Aston Martin's 1 and 2 in the Pro class, and well, having a happy run of things.
Well, in fact, there in the one picture you had GT Pro and LMP2 all in the same shot. So Pedro Lamy then, he's done his good job as always. Very reliable, steady driver. Of course, a Le Mans winner for Peugeot, along with Alex Wurz and Marc Genet. Here we are, closing minutes then, just 7.5 minutes to go in this race as the smog starts to break the picture up.
It does indeed. You have a little digital relay issue, and we have a picture jam at home, I'm afraid, so we'll stick with it and hopefully get back, and we do. Thank goodness for that.
Yeah, so look at the smog coming in again this morning, really thick, like a fog, but you get that every morning. Same as you have, of course, in India, when they have the Formula 1 there, you just see it, then sun burns it off, and then as the sun goes down, as it is now, with 5 o'clock in the evening here in Shanghai, 8 hours time difference from the UK, it starts to creep back in again.
So we're just going through the classes at the moment. Aston 1 and 2 in GT Pro. Of course, a Ferrari in there, so Porsche out of it. Bergmeister, incidentally, on board the 91 machine as we speak. Time for a brief snack back home, as you saw.
That's true.
The GT Am Ferrari 458 Italia is leading the class at the moment and is a lap clear of the IMSA Performance Matmos machine. Paltala is on board there. Jamie Campbell-Walter is bringing it home, trying to get max points on the same lap, incidentally, as the car in P2, and they need that spot.
Yeah, now what's not going to happen today, that 51 car, the AF Corsa Ferrari of Jimmy Bruni and Giancarlo Fisichella, is not going to take the title as they'd hoped. That is going to have to wait for another 2 weeks until November the 30th in Bahrain, when we'll be live again here on Eurosport. Darren Turner then, as we heard saying earlier, confident that Bruno Senna is going to play wingman, stay behind him, and John Gow, the team manager, team director, we saw taking the biscuit earlier, obviously fully behind that decision, because that will help Aston in their bid for the GT Pro Championship.
Yeah, shame. It seems to have rubbed off the problems between Leitz and Lieb. The problem being that they're being broken up as an amazing winning partnership. They're going to be split as LMP1 beckons for Porsche. Lieb's going. Leitz, it's farewell, I'm afraid.
Yep. Well,
so he'll have to look for a new partner in GTR.
Well, of course, if Lieb doesn't make the grade, that he's only getting a test. And of course, he says himself, his big problem is he doesn't understand downforce. He's never driven race downforce cars. He's had a test in the old Spider. You remember the Penske Spiders? Yeah. He's had a test in one of those. But
the ones they tried to ban.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, so it's very likely, I think, he will be taken on because he'll learn as he goes along. On board then with the number 1 car, race leader Ben Trullier, the man from Alençon, near to Le Mans in France. He is leading, last year's champion and 2 times Le Mans winner, but not going to be champion this year because in 5 minutes' time, Alan McNish, Tom Christensen and Loic Duval, the man from Chartres, are likely to be crowned World Endurance Championship drivers.
Yes, we don't want to put a curse on them, but it's looking nice and sensible for them. And Alan McNish, the great old stager, is on board. He's a phenomenal athlete, as well as being, as you know, one of the greatest racing drivers of all time. And yes, adding to his coronet, I think you might say. He does, of course, occasionally at least get outshone, I think, possibly in the Smiling Stakes by his teammate Tom Christensen. But it's going to be great news for all of they. Loic Duval on board with them today, and it's going to be a happy place. They're already itching in their seats. I think they've got specially printed T-shirts probably, and 4 minutes is what they've got to wait before they pull them out of the box.
Yes. Yeah, here we are. Here comes the number 1 car then, going past that Corvette of Fernando Reis. Luckily not held up by the fire they had in the Labra pit. And incidentally, everyone thanking neighbouring teams, particularly Aston Martin, for their help in getting that car back into the race. Just shows what a great team spirit there is in the world sports car family.
Yes, it is a family, very collective. If you ever get a chance to go along, then you'll be surprised at just how much access you get to the drivers and indeed their vehicles. It's fantastic. Secrets, well, there are some, but they're not shrouded. It's fantastic. Look at this. Yeah. Party time, well, at least smiles-wise, but not from Herr Doctor. Oh, he's keeping it very, very sensible. We had a close-up of him early. He was looking a bit dewy-eyed. He does show his emotional side on occasion, and in 3 minutes' time, I imagine we might have some floods. Yeah,
there's a great comparison, the onboard shots between Ben Trullier and Alan McNish. We saw number 1 and number 2 Audis running first and third. Here is the third place car. Toyota is the sandwich, the filling in the sandwich. Alexander Wirtz on board, and in 4th place, now some 6 laps down, Rebellion, which is the only non-hybrid runner here in LMP1.
The reason we're looking at the 2 car, they are going to be crowned champions, provided they bring it in. They've got just over 2.5 minutes of racing before they achieve that. They'll still have to drive in their pomp in Bahrain. They've already wrapped up the manufacturers, but they want the driver's title, so coveted, and Alan McNish heading for that title. He's the man on board at the moment, the 2 car. The number 1 is going to win the race. Trullier out there and got a sizable gap, it seems, over. In fact, I say that the last recorded gap was quite narrow, with Toyota closing down. So we'll see if we can get back to that battle right now. We just hook up now. My timing screen is lying to me. There's a good big old gap between them, as you can see. We're looking at the 1 car right now, and yeah, I'm not suggesting it's a Sunday afternooner, but there doesn't look like there's a great deal of hassle there, and it's beginning to dawn on them exactly what they've achieved this year.
Yeah, I mean, it was doom and gloom last night when Toyota was so quick ahead of them. Bit of a flame out there in the Aston Martin, but it's all come back to them, and as we saw earlier on, great performance by Benoit Trullier, putting that car back ahead of Alexander Wirtz after Toyota jumped in what I think must be one of the pit stops of the year, a splash and dash. Got himself just out in front, Formula 1 style.
15, just shy of 16 seconds is the gap. It really was a remarkable stop. It's been a remarkable run, not just here, let's not forget, but Audi have been outstanding for such a long time, it seems. And I was saying earlier on, they seem to be able to set themselves new challenges constantly. They never seem to lose the enthusiasm for racing. They have a development program which translates through to their vehicles, and they seem happy to do that and provide us with some amazing racing. The cars just seem to get stronger and stronger.
Yeah, and we're waiting to see what their plan is for next year, of course. They've got Porsche coming in against them. It might be the same family, but they are going to race against each other. We've got the Toyota coming back, hopefully stronger. 2 cars all season, we're told, is the plan at the moment, but of course that all depends on budgets. But just last week, Toyota was named the biggest car producer on the globe, so let's hope some of the funds from that will translate back into a full-on race program.
Well, there you are. They're playing with us. We have another lap before the clock goes out. So there we are. We're now on the declared final lap. The clock will go to 0. Next time across the line, we will get the checkered flag.
190 laps completed of the Shanghai Formula 1 circuit. It's a tight circuit, and that's a lot of laps. So no yellow flags today. No safety cars. We had a few yellow flags, local ones, most particularly for the AstroTurf problems. And that really has been something they ought to be looking at for next year when they come back. It's just quite ridiculous, isn't it? Ralf Juttner then, team manager of Audi, under race director Dr. Ulrich. And here we go, on the final lap, Tom Christensen.
The smiles suddenly break out. Yes, he was just out of view. Alan McNish in the 2 car is going to be champion, but the race winner, you're looking at them right now. Trullier will bring it home. Real sadness for Toyota, who took the pole, don't forget. Nico Lapierre started it off today, and it looked lively, but unfortunately the 8 car suffered with suspension damage. Anthony Davidson near heartbroken. He'll be back to fight another day, and so will Toyota. But it is all about Audi yet again. The final lap, lights ablaze, and a perfect view there of the rucking of the track. There we are. That's the reason they're porpoising. And even at these lower speeds, you see the car starting to chatter towards the end of that long straight as it comes down to take that hairpin turn 14 and get itself back, and the checkered flag beckons. Yeah,
win number 3 for these two in the World Endurance Championship, plus that Sebring win with Ollie Jarvis. Checkered flags waiting, and it's Audi 1 and 3.
Amazing performance, a quite remarkable program of efficiency. Delivered absolutely beautifully and indeed entertainingly. We had a proper race today. Toyota really took it to them, and there will be plenty more. 26G drive does it. Martin brings it across the line to deny Oak Racing, who finish 2 and 3. The Delta ADR is in 4th, which is a good run by them. As far as the GT class is concerned, Aston Martin making it 1 and 2 in the Pro class here, and it will be the Porsche in the hands of Bergmeister, who did a fantastic job on, unless he actually loses it on the very final lap here to Bruni in the AF Corsa. Porsche do get on a podium. That's a great result for them, because they were having so many tyre issues early on in the heat, Mark.
Yep, yes indeed. And Alan McNish has been waiting so long for this chance to become World Sports Car Champion. He's won Le Mans, he's been there all the time, but this is actually the first championship he's taken. So congratulations to him, to Tom Christensen, and of course to Loic Duval.
There's the 81 Ferrari, the 8-star Motorsports coming across the line. Phenomenal performance by them as well. IMSA Performance in 2nd place. It means that 8-star lead this championship now with Aston Martin, Jamie Campbell-Walter's car and Stuart Hall's vehicle finishing in 3rd place. It's going to go down to the wire in Bahrain, that one.
Yep, yeah. In fact, all the categories apart from LMP1 are going to be sorted out in Bahrain, so we're going to have a great race there. There's quite a lot of maths to do, so let's not call who's leading which. Let's hear from Tom Christensen. Louise is waiting on the pit wall.
Saw him dragging his leg. Yes, Louise was pulling him down off the pit wall. There we go. Well, still not quite ready for us, and they will cross the line 1 and 2. That's a terrific performance by Aston Martin in the Pro class.
Yep, and great result here in China, as we said, their biggest market. And well done, guys, all the guys from Banbury Pro Drive, Dave Richards, and the Aston Martin squad, plus Gulf, of course. Excellent work. Here, just enjoying, savouring that moment in the #1 car. That win here in Shanghai, so important for Audi as well, of course. They've got factories here, as have all the motor manufacturers now. Fassler, Trellier and Lotterer winning for the 3rd time in the WEC, plus that Sebring win.
Well, apparently we do have Tom.
Congratulations, World Endurance Champions 2013.
Yeah, it's a fantastic feeling, great day, particularly for Audi. Really great racing with Toyota. I have to say, going into this weekend, it was very much with our car crew, very much thinking about the championship as well, and to see a car which just did perfectly, both for car 1 and 2 was a great day. And to win the championship before the end of the season, there's still one race to go. It's